Praise God. Like I said, I got stories. But this one's a kind of funny story. Still, it's going to be biblically related. I remember, and I say, somebody that was close to me, okay? And this is a long time ago. This was down in Greenwich Village. Greenwich Village. Wow. Oh, man. Greenwich Village. Yeah, man, a lot of stuff was happening down there then. You know, I experimented with stuff, man, that I would not experiment with that stuff now. Nothing, man, I'm serious. Now, I mean, I gotta take medicine, pills and stuff now for real. But I was experimenting down in the village because I figured that's what that was, an experiment, And you ain't gonna believe this. I'm probably gonna tell you the story. You're not gonna believe this, but they told me, and I couldn't help but laugh. I said, "You got to be kidding, man!" So they told me. They said that they had went in. They had went in together. Him and this guy went in together for, at that time, to buy, I think, a pound. What was he selling? I don't care. I dibbled and dabbled, and I'm not gonna lie. A pound of Acapulco gold. And if anybody know what I'm talking about, they understand. A pound or more, maybe more. And they was going to get a pound of Acapulco gold, and they was going to split it in half. Everybody was going to pay half. They was going to pay half the money, each one, and they was going to split it in half, and one get a half, and the other one get a half, right? And I think when I heard this, man, I laughed because I was high myself, man. I laughed. Lord have mercy, I laughed. They said that they had gotten the whole pound or whatever it was. And this is way back in the day, so ain't nobody should be complaining about nothing. Way back, way back, man. One person had it in their house. And he's waiting for the other person to come so they could cut it in half and give them their half. But in the meantime, the person it was in the house said that there was a knock on the door. That's biblical related. It was a knock on the door. I don't think it was even no chimes and stuff back then, So this is just going way back, man. I'm one of them way back brothers, So, and he said that there was a knock on the door, and I guess the guy must have been high or something. He went and peeped through the peephole, and lo and behold, here's a guy outside that peephole that looked just like, the Jesuses they used to put on the calendar. I'm serious. That's what he told me. I said, "What? Man, what you been, man, what the heck were you smoking, man?" But anyway, he said he looked just like the Jesus that's portrayed on the calendars. And back then, and usually, back then they had a few versions, different versions, but he said he looked just like him. He said he looked at him through the peephole, and he said, "Oh, wow." So he automatically opened the door, he said, because, hey, what, this cat here, man, this cat is Jesus, man. It's a true story now. And he he said, so he let him come in, open the door, and this guy had a staff. He didn't see the staff through the door, I don't think. But he had a staff. He had a staff. And, Jesus did have his staff, man. And he said they sit down and conversed and everything. And, him being hospitable, he says, hey, well, you want a drink? You want some soda or some iced tea or something, lemonade? And he said, he had to go in another room. And he said when he went in there to make the, to boil the water and, make the juice or tea and coffee, whatever. And he said when he came back, he said his guest was gone. His guest was gone. Yeah? Not to be seen. Just like he came in, he left out. And he said, man, well, what did I say anything to, wow, man, why did he leave? I wanted to really rap to him because so then, being he said, well, man, I don't know, maybe my house was in an order or something, And so when his head cleared, after the guest was gone, he said, well, the guy called, the other partner called who was going to split the thing with him. And he said, hey, man, I'm coming over. He said, you got this thing, right? Yeah, man, I got it. So when he said, well, hold, yeah, man, he knew he had it because he knew where it was. But when he went to find out if it was there, it was gone. The whole pound was gone, man. And he said, what? Well, where did it go? Because he's standing there with the pot, the teapots whistling and carrying on, man, to get the tea and stuff. And, even had was, going to get some, some crackers at that time, rich crackers or the Nabisco saltines or something, being hospital. And now he looks around and the stuff is gone. So now, bang, there's another knock on the door. So maybe when he looks through the people, he might say, whoa, what I want to see? I hope this is Jesus coming back. But it wasn't Jesus. It was the guy who owned the other half. And when he came in, this is what the guy with the whistle, with the tea kettle whistling and carrying on, man, because he, you got to be upset with this because that was some money at that time. What, $100, $200? I never forgot how much money was involved with that kind of stuff because I bought that stuff, every once in a while too, or would go down on it. But I don't know how much money was involved, but he said when the guy come in, he said, man, I got something to tell you. And the guy said, what, man? He said, listen. He said, you ain't gonna believe this. So the guy said, man, what happened, man? Come on, man. Don't tell me a sob story, man. What happened? So the guy said, he said, man, listen, a cat come to the door. And, man, I looked through the peephole, and I'm serious. Man, you should have seen him, man. He looked just like Jesus. I ain't making this up. This guy told me this, man. He looked just like Jesus, man. And I said, oh, boy, He said, but anyway, he said, yeah. And what happened, man? He said, listen, I let him in. He sit on the couch. And I was going to make some tea and stuff. You see, you hear the tea kettle that's still whistling, man. He said, well, turn it off, man, because I want to hear what you're talking about. He said, you got to turn the tea kettle off, man. The tea kettle just whistling, and he's trying to explain, and the guy told him, man, just turn the tea kettle off so you can tell me what you want to tell me. And he said the guy told him, he said, man, I let him in, and we was making tea for him, and we was going to have some, some graham crackers or something, with the tea. And man, it couldn't have been no more than 5 minutes, because I was away from there 5 minutes. And man, when I come back, the guest was gone, man. And that's when I realized that the stuff was gone too. And the guy looked at him in disbelief and said, man, he said, listen. he was laughing, and I guess he was crying too, because at that time it was a lot of money, man. And he said, well, listen. He said, listen, man. He said, you can't, he said, you got to be being truthful with this. He said, because you can't make up nothing like this, man. He said, nobody can make up no stuff like this. He said, and who you gonna call? What we gonna call the police and tell them this? So we sit there both like, well, he's kind. I know he was pissed off, but he didn't. He just said, listen. He said, okay, man. He said, all right. This is what the guy said. He said, okay. He said, I know you. We done went through these things before, and nothing like this came up, and I know you to be honest and everything. He said, so you'll straighten it up, eventually, and we'll do, we'll do it. But the guy was in utter disbelief at what he had heard, but he said it was so it was so realistic that it couldn't be a lie. And the guy didn't hurt him or do nothing, man. He just said, listen, pay me when you can, man. And back then, man, that was some tough stuff. If you messed up somebody's stuff, you might have been found either in the Hudson River or either the west side river, found in one of them. But I said, man, boy, the life of drugs people, the life of drug people. Made me think, man, when I heard that. I said, man, because I had been, man, I was experimenting with drugs. I really was. I was really experimenting with all that stuff. Anything that would nail down, man, I was experimenting with it. Psychedelics and all of that stuff. So I'm going to tell y'all something. Well, to tell you something positive, if you're getting high with that stuff, let me tell you something. You're not really getting high. You're getting low. You are low as you can go. You think you're high, but if you're high, try to fly. If you think you're high enough, just stand out there, get in a safe place now, and flap your wings and see if you're going to fly. Because you're not going to fly. You're not going to fly. They ain't saying go up in no high place and try to fly. Try to take off flying from the ground. Moral of the story, man, stay drug free.